Ever felt like you needed an extra pair of hands or a few more hours in your day? Well, chatting with GPT-4 using just your voice is kind of like that, minus the sci-fi robot hands. It's all about making your life simpler and squeezing in a bit of productivity and creativity whenever you can. Say hello to voice chats with AI. Picture this. You're on your morning walk, whipping up breakfast, or maybe even stuck in traffic, times when you can't really type but can definitely talk. That's where voice chatting with GPT-4 shines. It's like having a super smart buddy ready to chat whenever, making those moments not just fun, but super productive. How to start talking. Kicking off a chat with GPT-4 is as easy as talking to a friend, who sometimes talks more than you like, or his answer is sometimes a bit off, but is still helpful. Maybe you're wrestling with how to get your team to work better together, or you need someone to brainstorm some fresh ideas for your next project with. Just start with something like, "Hey, I was thinking about teaching cats to paint with AI. Got any advice?" And bam, you're off to the races. Dodging the hiccups. Talking to AI isn't always smooth sailing. Sometimes, if you pause too long to think what to say, it might think you're done and jump in with an answer. To keep the convo flowing your way, try speaking a bit more slowly, or throw in an or if you need a second to think. It keeps GPT-4 listening, waiting for what you'll say next. Your AI buddy tends to go sideways from time to time. In that situation, just circle back to your topic with follow-up question or repeat and slightly rephrase your question. There's also a bit of a limit to keep in mind. As of now, in February 2024, OpenAI set a max of 40 messages per 3 hours. In my chats, that's usually enough for a solid 1.5 hour session. Surely, it depends on how chatty or deep-divey your questions are. After this limit waves off, you can continue in your chat where you left off. Did you notice the artifact in the thumbnail image? The person has third hand. It was generated by DALL-E 3 AI image generator. Well, it was not intentional, and it is example that it is hard to steer AI to draw what you exactly want. Why it's awesome. What's not to love about making your day a bit easier and more productive? Whether you're brainstorming ideas or sorting out your schedule, chatting with GPT-4 means getting stuff done without missing a beat in your busy day. For me, it's a game changer while driving. Turns out, my car is now the think tank where I do some of my best brainstorming. But it's not just for the road. Whether I'm out for a stroll or stirring up something tasty in the kitchen, it's my go-to for a good old brainstorm session. I lean on it when I need to look at things from a new angle. Not so much for the hard facts. Gotta watch out for those AI slip-ups. But for a fresh take or a different perspective, awesome. Keeping tabs on those bright ideas. Ever stumbled upon a genius idea while chatting away, or picked up a cool tip you didn't want to forget? Just say to the GPT something like, "Save a note of this," or "Keep this in mind for later." GPT-4's got your back, storing away whatever you ask it to. Next time you're curious about what you wanted to remember, just ask, and voila, it'll spill the beans. Think of it as slapping your thoughts onto a digital voice-activated sticky note. Just make sure you're asking in the right chat thread to keep things straight. Never forget what you were talking about. One of the coolest things? You talk, GPT-4 listens, and everything's written down too. So you can always scroll back through your chat like a text convo and pick up right where you left off. It's like having the best of both chatting worlds. Side note, and guess what? I wrote this article mainly using voice interaction with GPT during 1 hour drive. Pretty cool, huh? I just chatted away, sharing my thoughts out loud. Firstly, we talked about topics that should be included, created outline, and then went step by step through all sections. I described the points I want to be mentioned, and GPT prepared the paragraph for it. After we got all the ideas down, I asked GPT to create whole article. And yes, there was some post-processing needed. I did go through it once, tidied things up a bit, or rephrased some parts. But still, it was no time compared to writing the whole article on my own. It's amazing how using voice interaction can turn otherwise boring and wasted time into something productive. Also, the drive felt super short because I was talking with someone,